Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the first ever. What?
Nothing.
What's wrong with hello,
A
ladies
little
and gentlemen?
something on you.
Where?
I don't know. You're just a little wet mark.
A wet mark?
Uh-oh.
It's probably just because I'm so excited for Pay the Ghost, but I am Travis Snail.
I'm Dylan Moss.
I'm Emily.
And this is the first ever live recorded Netflix and film video. So
Really?
Should be interesting. We
It's
never
the
did
first
it.
time we've ever been
Because usually we
recorded.
do it, like, truthfully, to let people know it's only 7 right now. Usually we've done it at, like, 9:30, 10. So
True.
by the time we're just like,
We're
let's record,
lounging
let's
pretty
go.
hard, yeah.
Yeah, like I remember after the hole in the do-over, it was like midnight. We're like, let's get this review done, because this is
I was
awful.
probably falling asleep, so.
But, so today we're tying something in with Halloween. This was not our original choice, but it popped up on Netflix. Secretary saw it, so it was good enough to be like, oh, we have to change it, because it's one of our main guys, Nic Cage, back on Netflix and Fail.
He's done us well on Netflix and
He
Fail.
is. For a little insider scoop, it's the second biggest episode in GeekVerse history. Somehow, the Ghost Rider one, go check it out. It's their second biggest one.
Yeah.
No idea. It
I
topped
don't know if I like that, to be honest with you.
Me either.
I mean, we'll take it, I guess, but like...
It topped BVS. It topped
Really?
E3 PlayStation.
It topped BVS?
It topped Civil
What's
War
number one
review.
then right now?
Suicide Squad.
Oh, right, okay. I just paired those together for some reason in my head.
Please come out with something better.
Maybe this is it. Pay the Ghost.
There we go.
So,
Pay the Ghost.
first of all, I want to ask, what the fuck does this title even mean, you think? Because I guess I'll give you the synopsis, see if this helps. A professor frantically searches for his son who was abducted during a Halloween parade. This is an awesome movie for Halloween, by the way.
Well, I'm just gonna have to pay them ransom.
With what?
Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't make sense. You don't pay off a
Lies.
ghost.
Mm.
Oh, so you think he's going to sacrifice someone for his son?
He just might.
So what are we thinking on to preference this? Once again, if you're a first-time listener, we take movies that are under 2.5 on my Netflix and we watch them and see, do they deserve a fail? Because a fail on Netflix, that's not good. You know, you got a fail on a movie, that's bad. So we see if it's a true fail. This is a 1-star on my Netflix.
Really?
So
Oh, okay.
it really
It's a
is.
5.2 on IMDb, and it's 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
We'll go around.
It's not saying much.
What
It
are-
really isn't.
What are your guys' expectations going into the movie before we go sit down and watch it?
I have a good feeling that this will be a fun one.
Mhm.
Last Witch Hunter wasn't that fun, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go check that out.
But I feel like this one will be fun. However, I don't think it'll be good enough to break 2 stars.
Not at all. Like, the only reason we are
No.
watching this is because it's Halloween. We've made a rule that after this, we're only going to watch a horror movie once a year in October because they're usually generally bad. Like, it's like, because you hear about good horror movies, you know? So it's like, the fact that I've never heard about Pay the Ghost is the first step. Like, it's going to be failed, but I think Dylan's right. I honestly think this is going to be a 2 for me. I think it's going to be like Ghost Rider, where I think it's going to be good bad. If it's so good bad, I might give it a 3. If it's that, like, I'm going in thinking this is gonna be a movie I may laugh the whole time.
I've
but
been
I thought
saying
that
it,
about
like, every month I've been saying like, oh, I think this is the movie that might do it for us.
This is
I'm
not
not saying
the
about
movie.
this one.
No.
I've gone back.
No.
I'm retracting that.
And Emily, what are you thinking going in?
To be honest, I'm not a big fan of horror movies, so I get quite scared. So
I
I'm
think this is
sure,
gonna
like,
scare you.
even like the cheesiest scary movies scare me. A good jump scare will get me every time. So I'm sure I'm gonna be scared for sure. But
Nic Cage's face just on screen.
and I think if I'm not scared, then that's a really bad thing.
Right.
But so we'll see. We'll see if Nic Cage can.
I don't know if he has the
Pull out all the
ability to
stops,
install
or-
fear.
Of course
in
he
my mind.
does.
I don't know
What,
if it's
did you
him
see
that's gonna
Ghost
be
Rider?
instilling fear, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm feeling very nervous, actually.
Nervous.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like it's going to be absolute crap. And I'm not looking forward to watching that.
Well,
But
I mean, we've already got the
we are
do-over,
going to
so
do it.
Happy
it
Halloween.
can't be worse than the do-over. You know?
So yeah, let's hope.
no,
That's
please no.
Yikes.
Nothing
So
could
yeah,
be worse than that.
we're gonna go watch Pay the Ghost, and you'll hear back
Pay
for
the
a
Ghost.
few seconds. Wish us luck.
Never been more ready for anything in my entire life.
And we're back.
This movie was a total piece of trash.
Really?
No.
Piece of trash?
Yeah. I'm just gonna open up with that.
Yeah. How come so far? I guess we'll give our overalls of Pay the Ghost starring Nic Cage. We did find out why it's called Pay the Ghost, kind of.
You gotta pay the ghost.
You gotta pay the ghost. Well, you don't really pay. You pay creepy people who help you find the ghost.
No. The point was, it was the kids have to pay the ghost so they don't get taken.
Oh, okay.
They've got to sacrifice their dolls.
Right,
with corn
right.
husks.
very specific thing you gotta do.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think, Dylan? Obviously,
Oh my
not a fan.
God. It was so boring. The whole there was nothing interesting. There's all the parts that were supposed to build up suspense, all the suspense just built into nothing, and it just felt like they did that over and over again. Even in that the last scene, it was just super underwhelming. We didn't even get Nic Cage doing weird Nic Cage things. It was just. It
got
was
to
just
cuss
did
a
at the
couple
beginning.
times. It got to cuss.
maybe a bit, but we didn't even get any him making crazy faces or anything.
That's true.
It was just so dull, so boring. It was so grayscale too, so it wasn't
Yeah.
even nice to look at. The CGI was horrible. The makeup for the witch and stuff were
Really
not
bad.
scary whatsoever. There was no other good actors in the movie, or maybe they're good actors that just didn't care. So it was just awful. This was a trash movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
No.
What a surprise.
I'll throw a scene out there for people that haven't seen it. If you have, I'll do a quick description. There's a scene where they call medium in the house, and what happens is she's looking around the room, she feels a teddy, she's going to the wall, lots of walking around, and build up, and she gets to this train station, she touches, and she goes, nothing. And that's how I describe this movie. A lot of looking around, a lot of waiting, and right when something happens, it's nothing. It's that's exactly what happens in this movie.
There's a lot of build up and you're waiting for some big thing to happen. And it gets to that point where you know something's going to happen, and then either it doesn't happen or
it happens really quickly.
Or it's really quick and very lackluster.
Yeah, the ending to me is super. After all that build up, he literally on the. Well, hang on. Actually, before we go, I'll give a quick rundown for people that haven't seen this. The plot is Nicolas Cage. We said earlier, his son gets.
Because what it starts with is it shows a precursor scene from back in 1677. Right. So this is your opening scene, and then it cuts back to modern day. But yeah, it starts in 1677. And
show some kids in danger.
So some kids in a
cellar.
A cellar, and
their mom is upstairs and they attack.
So it really doesn't tell you a whole lot about that storyline. They tell you more about it later, but
yeah. And then from there we get into Nicolas Cage's son is kidnapped. We'll get into the
on
jump
Halloween
in a second.
Night,
we'll get into jump in a second. Just doing the bare minimums.
Yeah.
And then he's spending classic obsessed on the wall thing. There's a marriage, it's broken up, everything. So it's all your cliche stuff like that. He's looking for this ghost, and we find out that the main thing is, and I'm really telling you the whole plot because this is pretty much it. The ghost every Halloween takes 3 kids because she lost her 3 kids. She was a witch. Mm-hmm. She takes 3 kids, and what you have is you have until next Halloween to save them. On next Halloween, you got a year. And then on that Halloween, if you don't save them, they're gone forever.
It's like that Halloween Town movie.
Yeah, so he's just constantly talking to creepy people. He's talking to creepy blind people. He's talking to nuns. And it's your classic horror thing.
Professor Heidi Klum.
Yeah, and it's your classic horror thing. There's a monster, this and that. There's he's kind of alcoholic, but he's not. But he's playing that. He's downtrodden. And then of course, they get the kid back, and it's very lackluster.
Well,
mother, they get back together. Everything's happy.
It's one of those things where we talk about this in Fantastic Four as well. After he loses his kid, there's maybe
there's a dream sequence.
Yeah, there's a little bit. There's 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's 1 year later.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't even make sense because the severity of the situation, talking about this missing child, it doesn't make sense. If a year has passed, the kid's gone. You know? So it just doesn't obviously it's because they're trying to pair it up with the whole it's the Halloween night and that's what's important, but it just didn't make any sense.
Well, because the times they make reference to he's constantly going back and back to the police station with new ideas and new files, and they do make it seem like it's fresh and it's only been a couple of months, but then when you think about that, it's been 1 year. And even the cops eventually be like, you can't come in here anymore, man. You can put out your posters if you want, but same as the cop, he's still working on that. I don't even know if that's
the thing
legally allowed.
When it comes down to the cop thing,
he would still be working on, but he'd also have other cases.
But that much,
he wouldn't be working on it that much.
He had he
had
that
whole drawer.
He had to file this short, and he had
drawer.
20 times the size on his computer.
No.
Because what new information comes in on that case?
There's nothing. And Nicolas Cage is just constantly 2 days before Halloween. Well, this pet rape is gone.
And the thing is, honestly, they didn't even need to have any of the cop part of it. That could have been a very minor thing because that doesn't matter in the end of the movie.
Well, I was going to throw it, so I have that in my notes. What happens to the cop?
Yeah.
Last time we see him is in the morgue.
I'm just realizing that now.
Was the morgue the last time? Or was it when he was talking to Mia Wen's mom? The Asian.
No, it was the more because
Okay,
remember
I
he
couldn't
calls him. He's like, "I got something Halloweeny for you," and he sees that there's the medium dies, and they pretty much say that there's been a fire inside and it's burning her from the inside. They say like a combustible. What do they say? Combustible.
A spontaneous combustion.
Yeah. And that's the last time there's this. So preference. There's a cop that Nic Cage is going to the whole movie, and there's kind of this underline like the cop kind of implies that he's helping him, but might think Nic Cage is something because he keeps dropping these lines. Something weird keeps happening around you, Mike. And then he goes to see this medium who was killed. That's it. That's like probably like 20 minutes before the end of the movie. Nothing. It's not tied in. Don't get a, oh, Nic Cage, you're right this whole time. He doesn't help him save the day. Nothing. Like, maybe there could be some scenes that were cut to try and get this, like, quicker on VOD. I don't know. But, like, nothing that caused pointless.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
And, I mean, he does seem like a genuine dude, but, like, it just... And so, I guess if there's anyone in this movie that you care about, it might be, you know, his storyline, but that turns into nothing, so... I don't know. That was pretty lame, for sure.
I will say that all the stuff that they did in the beginning of the film that you were like, oh, this is going to have relevance, and then you were like waiting, and there was no relevance, they did end up tying it all in. Like, every little minor character, like, ended up showing up again.
Yeah.
As in, like, Professor Heidi Klum, whatever she was, the German
that
professor.
bugged
Like,
me
she
so
came
much.
back, and then, there was something else that happened early. Oh, the vultures. Literally the first time we saw vulture, I was like, oh, great, a vulture showing up. But I didn't think it was going to come back, but it did come back
I
thought it
20
might be
more
the
times. But, what?
I thought it might be the kid when I first saw it. I thought,
The
because like,
really,
we're getting
really
signs.
bad CGI vultures.
Yeah. Well, this is my thing. I guess we can talk about here, because I have in my notes when talking about the Heidi Klum, like, scientist, like, what was the ghost limitations? Because to me, all I thought was the ghost could take the sun, and then all the sun was trying through their mind to send out, like, that's the only thing that's established is the ghost takes a kid, and the kid can send out signs to try and help. Like, at one point, Dylan really liked the sun that sends out a razor scooter to mom to send signs.
Yeah.
So there's been no other foul play against ghosts. The medium I won't count because, like, maybe she tapped into that world, whatever.
Yeah.
But at one point, Nicolas Cage has a scientist friend who looks very much like Heidi Klum. She's like, gives him all this information, like, good luck, Mike. Hangs up the phone, walking through her, like, building, and then this ghost pops up and pushes her through a window. They never once established that ghosts can go after other people at all. So it felt really random, and it literally just felt like they wanted another scare in the movie. So let's, like, except for they try to set this up for a sequel somehow.
They really did.
They did. At the end, there's an end credit scene where that Heidi Klum wakes up and she has eyes and whatnot. But it's like, it didn't make sense why the ghost could do that.
And it really does not make sense if the ghost's motive is to take the children back as punishment for the adults that wronged her years and years ago, to go after these just random adults that actually have absolutely nothing to do with the children she's abducted.
We didn't fill them in. Can you tell them why they wronged her, what they did with the kids? We didn't tell them exactly what they did.
They burned the children at the stakes in front of her. So she vowed to
make them pay
by taking
Other
3 of their
innocent
children
people,
every
innocent
year
children,
on Halloween.
She didn't say that. She
No,
just was shouting a bunch of
witch stuff. It would make sense too if they were related to the ancestors, if they were like somewhere down the line they're like distant relations, but it's just random people's children that she's taking for.
But
it's been 400 years now.
But then she is attacking just random adults. Like, she does attack and kill Professor Heidi Klum. Spoiler, sorry. And then she also,
come on.
like, obviously the medium, but like you said, medium could have tapped in. That's,
that one I'm
that's a
fine
different
with.
thing that we can accept.
We'll
but then she also
it.
kind of goes after the mortician who's working in the morgue. Like, he's just.
I don't
like,
think
he's
so.
Not really, but she's kind of there. The presence is, because he's just trying to do his like regular autopsy, and then all of a sudden the lights start flickering, and and he's like, what's going on? And then the dead body's mouth opens.
I kind of took that as just like spirits were still kind of
falls.
connected in her body.
Maybe, but he
Yeah.
doesn't
But we don't
need
know,
any
'cause
sort of
nothing happened
haunting
to
to
that
happen.
morgue guy either.
No haunting needs to happen
No.
to this
You
poor
would think if
mortician.
anyone
He's
that they're
just
gonna
doing
kill-
his fucking job.
Yeah.
You would think if they're gonna kill anyone, it'd be those hobos who know this pathway to this other
Well,
world.
apparently they're ghosts.
Remember, they're ghosts.
Oh, really?
Because that's why they weren't there at the end, because all the ghosts are out.
Because he's like,
Oh.
where's everybody? Like, Nic Cage goes, where's everybody? And he goes, to set this up, there's at one point to find out more origins about this Pay the Ghost thing. He goes to this pretty much a sewer, a subway, a deserted subway, and there's a bunch of homeless people around.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a blind guy who knows some stuff.
With dreadlocks.
With dreadlocks. He goes back, and that guy's only left, and he's like, where is everybody? He's like, oh, well, it's Halloween, the ghosts are out. So to insinuate that everybody in that subway is a ghost.
Classic.
Which I don't know why the dreadlock guy's still hanging out.
I think he's a ghost, and that's his job.
Or is he not a ghost?
Who knows?
Because if you're a ghost, would he still be blind?
Can't see anybody, so it makes sense.
Ghosts, if you're watching, let me know. If you die and you're blind, are you blind in the afterworld?
Okay, so we kind of skimmed over this part, but we're talking about how the children have, or the parents have 1 year to be able to get their kids back. Well,
on Halloween, though, not in the middle.
On Halloween. And
they
she
gotta wait a
also,
year.
she took 3 children because it was 3 children that were burned at the stake. So
Yep.
when he...
Pablo and MIA.
Yeah. When he crosses the portal, which is really just a bridge over a giant lightning pit.
It's literally a bridge.
When he crosses
It's
the
a
portal
bridge.
and he ends up finding his own child and the other 2 children that have been abducted.
Yeah.
He takes them back, but it almost seems like he's not going to.
The other kids. He wants his kid. But
he
the other
wants his
kids,
kid.
Yeah, that was
he
fun.
takes a second to think about it.
He's like,
like,
they're like, will you take us back too? And he's like, we don't have a lot of time. And literally at that second, I thought he's like, he's not taking those kids.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this guy? Then he does take them
He thought
in the
about it.
worst way possible. But
that final battle scene though, that was something else.
no.
Literally, the witch lifts up. They're on this like just steel great bridge. The witch lifts them up, and then all the kids, because you get to see all the other dead kids,
The
their
spirits.
ghosts, the
Yes.
spirits, and they come and just do a CGI wrap around them and just take the witch.
But it was
and that's
ambiguous enough that it's like they didn't really kill her.
I didn't
No.
know she was dead.
Well, they're not dead, because at the end there's that end credit scene. Remember with the vultures
Yeah,
and
it was
But
very.
my problem with
Give
the
us a
rescue
sequel.
of
No.
the 3 children, his being his own, you don't ever see, and this is what I think would have tied the movie in at the end, a reunion with the other children's families. Like, you should have seen him, like, being like, I found these kids, or even taking them to the cop, and the cop
the
returning to their
ending.
families.
Yeah, the ending.
Because that was just like, so where did the other 2 kids go? Because he just walked back into his house with his own. It's like, did he just leave them on the street?
Yeah.
Like,
And the ending's super weird too, because like Walking Dead, Lori from Walking Dead's in this. And, like, she went to the hospital, but then when he gets back to the house, she's there, but no bandages because they got in a car accident because the vultures attacked their taxi driver, who does not know how to use brakes. Like, they cracked the glass, and he had, like, a solid 30 seconds to brake, but he's just like, oh, but, yeah, like, that full ending felt super rushed. Even that thing, like, the CGI wraparound tornado happens, he gets the kids, they get out that door, and literally there's that CGI, like, brick wall that comes in.
oh
It's
yeah.
like, oh, let's get out of it. It, like, felt, like, really, really rushed. Like, they didn't have any more budget left
We
or
did
something.
predict that though, because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably about 3/4 of the way through, and we were like, well, when is all the big stuff going to happen? Because we were just waiting. We were just hanging
'Cause
on
it's
to
only
all
an hour
these
and a half
lead-up
if you
moments
don't
that just
know.
left you with nothing.
Yeah.
And then it was like 3/4 of the way through, like I said, and nothing had happened yet. So I was like, man, this is going to be a really rushed ending, and it was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was very rushed.
Yeah, it's only an hour and a half. It felt a little bit longer than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was like even down to the points. I guess there was a couple jump scares, but they weren't scary just because
There
like
was one.
the makeup and like
There's
CGI of these witches and stuff was just so poorly done that it wasn't scary at all. Like you're not gonna
When we
remember
first
these
saw the
faces.
witch, I thought she was going to be scary. In the video camera, when he was doing that, when she was far away, she looked like, to me, because they had her shadowing up, and she had like her
The
kind
second she did this, pointed with her finger, I was like, I literally was like, that ghost isn't scary. The one time I got scared was one jump scare when she just popped up at a window. But, like, that was the one time I actually got scared.
Well, there was another time, that you got
yeah,
scared.
no. Travis is an idiot.
What other... Do you have any other story notes? Because I think I have some, but lots of them are, like, little questions we had over the time. Like...
A lot of mine were, I was just trying to follow the story because there was a whole lot to follow. So basically,
There
this is
was,
just
but
a
there wasn't at
timeline
the
of
same
it.
time.
Well, exactly. None of it was relevant. That's
There's
the
a
problem.
lot of talking.
It wasn't
that led
last Witch
nowhere.
Hunter level of like lore going on.
No, they were trying to set up...
They tried to put in a
franchise.
lot of lore, but it was like could have been left out,
was
and the
super
story
lazy.
still would have worked. Like the whole witch.
I don't think they
the
did,
reason
though. I
they
think they
did
just
the
spread
witch
out
thing
so
was
much.
like this Celtic tradition.
Yeah,
which
that's
Halloween
true.
is a Celtic tradition, but like. That actually had no relevance to this story. Like, they
Right.
tried to make it have relevance, but they really could have made the
Yeah.
story
Well, they
work
did with
without
the
being-
kids. They had to
Oh,
establish why those
definitely.
kids were
but
safe.
they honestly could have done this entire movie and this story without that whole Celtic
Yeah.
lore going on. Like, there
They
was
could have
no...
done... this could have been
They
an
could have
movie.
That or explained it earlier and had it go the whole way through the movie instead of at the 3/4 mark. Like, oh, we'd have to pay
They
the
could have
ghost,
cut out the
but...
fact that they take 3 kids and just had 1 kid, and then
Yeah.
cut out those other 2 families and then with that they could have cut out the cop part of it.
Well,
too.
this movie could have been an hour.
Yeah.
Could have been solid anthology series to some TV show episode. They didn't need an hour and a half.
And okay, a part that I actually did sort of like was when the mom got possessed and cut the whatever into her arm.
Yeah.
That part was pretty well done. Like, that could have been good, but like
Kind
if
of,
there
except
was
for the
more
boy's voice coming from her as a little.
I didn't mind that, because if there was more moments like that throughout the movie, I would have thought it was better. But because it was just that one time, it was kind of random.
See, for me, it didn't, because I was hoping for, like, when she finally turns around and you see her face,
Yeah.
I was hoping for, like, some really creepy face that was gonna stick with me, like,
That's
emotionally
fair.
scarring kind of thing.
It was
But it was
just
just her face, and she, like, there was no emotion. She did not, like, film me that scene. She was just like, I don't even know. There was nothing behind that.
And her
I'll
face
agree
was
with you
almost
there.
as pale as Nic Cage's
I
in
just-
this
Yeah.
movie.
If there was more of like kind of like that possessedness, because there was hints of it throughout, like sprinkled throughout, but nothing that really
Mhm.
like went the distance.
They definitely had some opportunities to actually instill some, like, scare and some fear. But
they didn't.
Well, and like they did with Dylan's Fair, they had the dream sequence. They kind of
my favorite, I love dream sequences. Oh, yeah.
They hinted that the boy's kind of possessed, but this is what I was saying about I don't have in my notes, but did they ever really explain why he was seeing something outside the window?
Because that was the ghost.
I guess
because
that
the
was-
portal had opens 3 days before Halloween.
And did she just decide to pick this boy then, I guess?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I think the picking of children is just random, but I
Okay.
think the reason he was looking out the window is because when he told Nic Cage to look again, he remember there was like the shadow of the black
Yeah,
covering all the buildings, so I guess it was the impending doom and that was on its way. I guess that's
well,
what.
we got that
I guess
the
it's
medium as well.
Yeah,
It's
classic.
coming! They have all the kids! Well, I have one note up here, and this is completely random, and viewers let me know. With the dead phone, it rang. At one point, his iPhone, it looked a little older, it rang to tell him it was dead. This is just like a stupid...
dying.
No, dying. Never had that happen. All I've had is iPhone phones. You two said you've never had
It gets
that
a
happen.
little thing on your screen. It says 20% battery, 10%
Yeah.
battery, but it doesn't.
This
make
was like a
ring.
ringtone. This was like, it kept ringing to show him that it was dead. So I was just like,
That's
who knows? It could be.
inefficient, first of all, because that's going to just blow your battery quicker,
Mhm.
right?
That's going to drop it down to a 10. But
That's
that
going to drop down to a 10 real quick.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any more big story notes?
No. Other than okay, I just crossed off.
I wouldn't
It's
say
really not-
anything would count as a big
Nothing's
story in this
really,
Travis. Let's get that out of the way.
I just meant most of my facts are coming up on like Nic Cage's certain Halloween costume he chose. Like some stuff that we haven't talked about, but nothing integral to the plot.
True.
Nothing really like there's nothing that's actually that important to the plot. That's the
No.
problem with this movie, is that all the main plot points just have no importance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Just so many of them seemed like optional, right?
Yeah, it
or
just
they
felt like
were so
spinning
short,
wheels.
So short that it's
Right,
just
yeah.
that made them irrelevant.
Yeah.
Did you want to, Travis, talk about your theory on more children going missing?
Well, yeah, and I'll post this to the listeners and viewers. So at one point, because Emily doesn't agree, at one point Nicolas Cage is trying to find some sort of theme why his kid may have been picked or abducted. Sorry. So he's looking through and he's like he has like somehow he's like hacked into the police database and he has find all these missing kids. So he goes. This is after him and his wife is reconciled. She's seen ghostly stuff, and they're sitting at dinner, and they're having dinner and whatnot. And he's showing her all these files, and he's like, "What's Charlie's birthday? Look at this." And he shows, and he's like, "Look at all these missing kids.
Yeah.
Look at how many have been found. What's your birthday? Give me your birthday." And he's like, "Look at all of them been found." And then look at October 31st, Halloween. And he shows him, he's like, "Look at all these missing kids. Not even half of them have been found." First of all, when he's scrolling down the screen, so many of them say found. Like
He said only half.
Oh, still only half.
Still.
And this is my question I pose to you viewers and geeks out there and fans, Netflix and Phil fans. To me, he's saying that there's more missing kids on Halloween. To me, the math didn't make sense because these were random days, like a July 15th and a November 2nd. To me, October 31st, this day where a bunch of people, rapists, kidnappers, could dress up, and a lot of kids that could be
A lot of
misplaced.
kids walking around town.
Yeah, going to different houses.
At night.
So that's my thing of like, I 100% believe if someone, and I've tried to look up stats, couldn't find any, I would believe that's in the top 5, if not the day where most kids get abducted or go missing. Because to me, it's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So with him being like, look at October 31st and seeing, look at all these kids, they're missing. And it's just like, yeah, but I feel like that, regardless if there's a witch or not, that would already be the case anyways. And when he's like, oh, they haven't been found, but it's like, to me, it's just because there's been more kids being taken from that day. So for me, it didn't really add up. It was just kind of like it was too big of a jump to get there to be like, yeah, all these kids, this is gonna find our son, and I guess it did. So I guess fuck me, right?
Yeah,
Because like
it's just one of those things, right? Like, if he searched up every day of the year, I'm sure some of them would also be 50% chance. Like it's just completely random, pretty much.
But you don't disagree. You disagree with this.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I just think that it's like he's a crazy man with crazy ideas because his kid's been missing for a year.
But
so
I just hate in the movie they make that like
this.
make sense though, right? They make it.
There was a lot of leaps taken. There was a lot of logic that was skipped over.
I talked about we talked about 1 year jump. Oh, so at one point when Nicolas Cage and his wife, they're now separated. They've been for a year.
Yeah. Well,
so he's been.
We don't know if it's for a year.
Right. So it's 1 year there, and they're separated.
We missed a year of the movie because they decided to skip it.
Hey, we also missed 300.
Would you rather though had another half an hour to experience that 1 year?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what happened. So he's been trying to get a hold of her multiple times. She's ducking his calls. When he phones her, the picture, it's established that they're estranged now. They're barely talking, maybe divorced or at least separated. When he phones her, the photo that comes up is a photo of him, Nicolas Cage, and their son Charlie looking all happy, like smiling, and like it's the best day of their lives.
Yeah.
And just to me, it didn't fit as far, like maybe it's like, okay, she kind of still loves him, but the movie does not get that all. She seems really annoyed with him all the time. She doesn't cut him any slack. She's accusing him the whole movie for her son being missing, and the cop accuses him once, and she's like, "Don't talk to my husband like that."
Yeah, that's one thing I just started to think about now. Like, I guess like if a year has gone by, let's say even 6 months gone by, they're separated, and like she takes him back. I guess.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care. Like I feel like I'd be kind of pissed. Like I told you that there was some creepy shit going on, and you didn't believe me. He doesn't care at all. Like that's the thing. I was really hoping like. The thing that was going to redeem this movie was Nic Cage just going ham and just like those crazy facial expressions and just when he just gets way too animated. Like that's what I was hoping for, but
we only got
that would have been perfect for something like that. But it just I don't know why they didn't like use that privilege. If you have Nic Cage in your movie, just make him go ham because it'll make the movie better.
He made that choice.
That's why Ghost Rider had so many good moments because of just how stupid, like how many stupid scenes there was.
He did it a little when his kid went missing. Like when he was looking for him, he did a little, and he talked that the Spanish.
Anytime he's running,
where's
he
it?
really
And before, like I know you might have some more points on it, but before, because there's one thing I did skip over that we talked quite a bit about is they do this big setup of he promises his son he's gonna be there for Halloween and trick or treating. So
he's a shit dad.
They established it, and that's fine. Lots of movies do that. That's
he's a busy guy. He's a professor.
He's a professor. He got a new job to be a bigger professor.
Very stereotypical.
So, but anyway, so he's late. The mom's like, he's gonna be late. So the mom takes the son. They go Halloween trick or treating. He gets back, and there's a note on the door saying, it's like, took too long. We left without you. It's still clearly really sunny out. And the thing is, she tries to phone him, and he does say his phone's dead. But he's home. He doesn't think to, because I guess to jump to this. They've been Halloween trick-or-treating the whole night. They get back home. Nicolas Cage... It's dark now. It's night.
There's actually a few things wrong with this scene.
Yeah.
Go on.
Like, that's why it seems confusing. Maybe just watch Netflix for this scene and then stop it. But so, it's dark. They're heading back to their house, the mom and the son. And he jumps out. First of all, wearing a cowboy costume, which is very disturbing. Yeah. Not just because it's...
We were hoping he was going to wear it for the rest of
the
movie.
a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
But you know why,
the chaps.
You know why, actually?
Because his hair.
Because of his hair. Because if he wears a hat, it'll pull out the plugs.
I thought it would melt the hat. He'd put it on. But anyways... So, let's say it was 5 p.m. when they went trick-or-treating and they got back at, let's say, 9, 10. So it's been 4 hours. So, to me, this means he's maybe been just standing outside
even
waiting.
1 hour. Even 1 hour.
And
but they've been trick-or-treating the whole night. So
you would have to imagine he knows his wife's phone number. I feel like that's, maybe a safe
And he said his phone's dead, but charge it.
He could have called her from someone else's phone, a payphone, or he could have charged his own phone.
Or he could have used one of the fucking laptops or iPads in the house, emailed her.
Well, and this is my problem. He could have went and found a way to go spend at least a few hours trick-or-treating with his son. But he chose to wait outside and be like, I'm going to get them. When they come out and you show them on the cowboy and I surprise him. And it's like, what?
He was probably at a costume shop renting the cowboy costume.
Probably. That or he was sleeping with many of his students that were like, he's giving a speech at the beginning and he's just like acting stuff out like
to his students.
Like a Bible, like... section, verse?
It's just a poem.
Oh, is it just a poem? Yeah. He's acting out, and
all the poems from the Bible.
And all the girls are like, like they're just looking and they're just like staring at him. Yeah.
Billy sending out
He
the,
is
like,
their Halloween candy.
It felt-
I fucking vibes.
It felt
They
like the
are-
setup of a porn to be like, oh, I'm failing again, Mr. Mike. Like,
Mr. Mike.
We didn't find his
Mr.
last
Yeah, we
name.
did. It was Longden or something.
Lawford.
Lawford.
Okay, quickly to go back to that.
To the Cowboys?
Yeah. The other thing is when that kid gets home and he has his Halloween candy, picture like one of those small like jack-o'-lantern like Halloween candy things. It's like a quarter full. So this kid sucks at trick-or-treating.
There's like
first of all.
10 candies in there.
So he's been out trick-or-treating. Even if you
4
go
hours.
down, if you go down one street, you can get that much candy.
Yeah, they were in New York, like, and
Oh,
they were
yes,
in like
yeah.
they're in a rich neighborhood because
Oh, yeah.
they're seem quite well.
Busy.
They're in a
There's a
brownstone.
carnival right beside
For
them.
people that may be in New York or have been to New York or know anything about New York, they live in a brownstone. It's nice.
Mhm.
Like, it's a nice neighborhood.
And that street was bumping too. There was people all
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Carnival just a block away.
Yeah, block
Then
away,
Nic Cages
there was a
probably getting
carnival.
that Mike was probably doing cocaine off his students. That's why I was like, I'm here, Charlie. Like it was just that whole set was super weird. And then after his son got abducted, until the 1 year jump, he was wearing the cowboy costume, and we said like, I hope he wears it. He did not wear it for the whole movie. I
Yeah.
want him to wear it the
I was
like he
hoping
was
for
attached to it and he couldn't take it off.
I was really hoping for something like that, or that he was a ghost of some capacity. Or he
Yeah,
got,
but
You
I
guys
told
were
you he
really hoping
wasn't.
For that.
because
Well, just for
I
health
honestly
reasons.
thought they were kind of maybe like foreshadowing that because
They shot him a lot like
they had a lot of scenes with just like really white lights on his face, so he looked really pale. He
yeah, this
looked,
movie did not make him
it's like
look
it looked
good.
like they were
No.
foreshadowing that he was
He's
gonna
really
be a
puffy.
ghost of some sort.
Like whoever shot this did not do a good job because you're supposed to make stars look as good as
Sorry,
possible.
Sharon.
And he might not even look that bad, but it's like the way they shot him was just like, hey,
He
what's the
looked
fattest
green
side of his
a lot
face?
Of the time. He
Yeah,
looked green
there was
a
definitely some
lot of the
green,
time.
yeah.
Dylan, what else was your favorite continual shot of the movie? A certain stairwell, perhaps?
Oh yeah, so this is really strange. So it started like in one of the like earlier scenes. There's a staircase in the house that they live in, and yeah, they had so many panning scenes that
Of
were
the
like
banister specifically.
the banister specifically going up the stairs, looking like the banister is the main shot. Even if someone's walking up the stairs,
Mhm.
it was always the banister that was
Oh,
the key
yeah.
part
And
of
it
the
wouldn't
shot.
like.
And it wasn't quick.
It
It was
wouldn't-
like a 15-20 second scene every time. Of
Well,
just
yeah.
like zoom in on this banister.
And to continue that, it wouldn't pan. Let's say it started the banister and someone walked by it. It wouldn't pan with that person. It would stay with the banister in the corner of the
Yeah.
shot and just stay on the banister while the person walks away. It wouldn't use that as the origin shot. It stayed with it the whole
Or
time like it was a
it'd,
character.
Like, pan from one side of the banister
Yeah,
to
and-
the other,
yeah.
and it's like the shot isn't even. There wasn't even anybody on the staircase. It's that there was noises upstairs.
Mhm.
So instead of like moving up the stairs towards the noises, it just panned around the banister to show the staircase.
I mean, it was a nice banister, but like, what? It's just no.
It was strange.
And it reminded me of that because the first time that Laurie from Walking Dead is walking around the house, so many times when there's supposed to be a jump scare, there's this point where it's like the setup of the jump scare, the delay for the fear, and then the fear comes in. But this was like the delay of the fear, and then another delay, and then another delay. So at a point when the jump scare
Oh,
happened or any scary stuff happened, it wasn't scary because you're like, this is taking too long. I already talked about like the medium scene, but so many scenes where they're just looking around. Like same thing like when Nic Cage has his dream sequence, it's with his son, and it's his son just appears he's like, oh, you're back, like thank God. And he's like, did you look outside the window? And he looks like, look again, and then he looks like there's nothing there. Look again. It was like, I felt like I was in one of those scary movies where I was just
Yeah.
like, but look again, and he's like, there's nothing out
Yeah,
there.
that
Like
was
that
like-
scene fell forever. Like
And when
he looked out the window like twice already.
And when he did see it, like that was the one jump scare that got me. But the lead up to that jump scare was literally a big shadow that
Oh,
just
yeah.
came
So you knew it was
out
coming.
across
And it was
the
just like
road.
poor CGI
It
shadow.
just
And it
just
was
a
like
shadow.
30 seconds of just like,
So like, okay,
Did you
weird
look outside the
shadow,
window?
and then suddenly like a face, and it's not even like any relevance at all. Just a face goes pah in the window, and that's it. And like that's what made me jump scare, which I was the first to admit a jump scare will get me almost every time. But that's the only one in this movie that got me, and there was at least one or two more.
oh, they tried. They
They
tried with
tried.
the Razor scooter too. Of
The Razor scooter, and then there was the one where he first went into the homeless ghost lair, and he was
The
looking
blind
at the
man.
wall of the pay the
Yeah,
ghost,
yeah.
and then the ghost popped up behind his shoulder, but like there was
The
no.
blind guy's like, it's time for you to leave.
Yeah, the blind guy's like, "Hey, gotta go. See you later." So he's rushing him out. So there's like
And then
that
even
kind
on
of
the,
scare
on like
factor's
the bridge
gone.
where they reveal the witch, wasn't there like a small jump scare there too?
Yeah, when she
Kinda,
like
she
charges
said-
at him.
Yeah, yeah.
But the problem with that too is the charge, instead of her like being like charged and right in his face, you actually watch her glide, and it takes like a few seconds.
He could
And
have
it-
ducked.
And
He could have
yeah,
threw his hair at her and like melted her. Yeah! We got it. Let's go. now let's get the Declaration of Independence. Which
Well,
there were so
yes.
many times in this movie where it felt like this was the third national treasure, where they would give him maps or books or Bibles
Or like ancient scriptures.
Yeah, like
Scriptures.
read this, and
Stone
know what this
carvings.
is? I bet this is a prequel. That was the job, his notification. He got the clearance to National Treasure. I guarantee you, he got his
Is his
son.
name Mike in that?
I don't know. I mean, we gotta
Oh,
look up
I'm
is he
gonna watch
married to
National
National Treasure or
Treasure.
anything? I guarantee
No,
you.
because he goes out with the girl, the blonde
See,
one.
he's cheating on his wife after they found
The
his
blind
son.
one or the blonde
Blonde.
one?
The blind
The
guy.
blind one.
And that was the other
Yeah,
thing.
we're
The
a
witch
couple.
had one. There's the blind guy obviously that gives the information, and we're not talking about Nic Cage. The wigs in this are ridiculous. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
wigs are bad.
but to me, this is the reason why. Not that I'm not willing this to end yet, but the reason why I kind of like this movie is because the last Witch Hunter, I felt like we kind of said some stuff, but there wasn't too much to talk about. It was so straightforward, but this had a lot of like classic, like, why would you make this sort of choice? The last Witch Hunter, he was like, oh, we tried all this stuff and it just turned out bad. Where this was like what? Like, this is one of my favorite scenes I'm about to bring up here. So in the middle, Nic Cage and his wife reconnect. They're back together. He's gonna spend the night because she's scared. One of my favorite scenes.
yeah.
I think I've seen this year. You know, this movie came out last year. He's awake. He's sitting on the couch. He's kind of trouble. He walks upstairs to his wife. His wife is just literally just sitting on the bed. Every light is on the fucking room. Every light. And he's like, I can't sleep. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, she's like, oh, okay. He's like, can you? He's like, can you? And she's like, I'm gonna try to get some sleep. That is verbatim. The line, like the
Yeah,
line.
I'm gonna try.
And then he's like, good night. And then he walks away. So it's like he just completely gets shut down. Like he just, it's, you have to see. That's another scene you have to watch. Like, hey, can you sleep? I'm gonna go to bed. Like even at that point, she's like, I don't really want anything to do with you. That was the thing. They had no chemistry, and that's one thing. It's hard because Nic Cage rarely has
I was
chemistry,
gonna
so
say,
I don't put that on
You
her.
can almost see her trying
Yeah.
to have chemistry. Like even in the first scene, when they were first in bed, at the very beginning of the movie, you guys were like, man, I hope she doesn't have to kiss him. And then she does kiss him, and I was
'cause it
watching
was
her
awkward. It
while
didn't
she
feel
had to kiss him. She's smiling, and it's almost like she's trying not to laugh, or like she's trying to make him have some sort of reaction to like the playfulness, but like there's nothing.
Yeah.
And like he tries, but he's just not good at it.
I think I will always say I think he is a good actor. I think you just have to surround him with the 100 right people. But he got this idea of just doing any movie that comes to play it. You know, like he's an Academy Award winning actor. He can act. He's a great actor. But that scene to me is a scene I think I'll remember the day I die. I just love the setup of it. And just like, because the whole 20 minutes, it really feels like they're trying to put them back together. And I thought, oh, here's the classic. She's going to invite him into the bed. Especially because all the spooky shit's happening. But even then, she's still like, nah, like I'm going to sleep.
Well,
like,
even wasn't that in her kid's room or something? Like I feel like it was just a
no,
single
he-
bed.
that's later when he
It's
hears
not a very big
noises.
bed.
No, it's very small.
When he hears noises and he walks up the banister, she's sitting there cutting in her arm and like, can you help me,
Oh,
Daddy?
okay, yeah, I see.
Let's see. I don't think I have two. Oh, one other note that I have here. When his kid gets abducted, he has him on his shoulders and there's a video camera. This was a big point in the movie for a little, but then it gets dropped. The kid has a video camera. He's shooting all this stuff, festivities. At one point, he shoots. He sees the ghost. The ghost points. He moves his camera, and the ghost's gone. But he's recording all this. So this is the year later point. Nic Cage is looking. He's just, and this is not even for facts. He's just smiling, and he's like reminiscing about his son. And he's looking through this video, but he stops it like in the middle. So the thing is, it's
Probably right before the part where the kid sees the ghost.
yeah,
It
and we're
feels
like,
so.
oh, maybe he's seen that part before, but he stops it, and the video, he turns it off and starts to flicker, and it shows him some scary shit. But I guess we're to believe that he's never gotten to the end of this video and not seen the ghost, or maybe the ghost isn't picked up. But we didn't even get to see that. He literally stops it right in the middle, so it felt really weird that they went back to the videotape, but it played no role.
Also, like, if a child is abducted and the child, or
The
there's a
police should
video,
have that.
yeah, exactly. There's a video
That's
of
the
what's
first
going
thing
on.
you or the cops are going to look
Exactly,
for.
they're
yeah.
gonna look for it because they're gonna look. Hey, did anything get videoed that? Is
Especially
weird?
because
Like,
they
any
Also-
creepy looking people point at you.
The cop keeps stressing, you were the last one with him.
And because there's this video that the kid takes, but also they literally show the CGI vulture sit on top of a city traffic light, like, or not traffic light, traffic camera,
yeah.
or a camera that's just out there. So it's
Well,
like,
maybe the
that would be
maybe the
watching
vulture
the
was
carnival.
blocking it.
But it was sitting on top of it.
But maybe while
But
if you zoom
even
in,
so, they would check that. They would look for,
That'd
like,
probably show you
who took the
exactly
kid?
who-
Like, you think you'd see something.
well, they didn't even do the classic. What I thought they were gonna do is get the video and like a bunch of people walk by the kid, and all of a second when it's like opened up, the kid's gone. They didn't even have the like. They didn't even have the commitment to do that.
How about-
Like he's gone.
How about too? Because he loses his kid when he's getting some ice cream, and he asks the ice cream man, "Hey, have you seen my kid?" Nope. Who's next?
Yeah.
No sympathy.
Well, that too, and the fact that he asks him because he's
The
like,
nastiest ice cream man you'll ever see.
well, that.
Just
But
so
the,
mean.
the thing is, I understand why he was being mad because he says, "Oh, here's first of all, he's a high roller." The guy goes, "How much is that gonna be?" He's like, $6. He's like, "Here, keep the change," and he
Because
throws.
he just got a job. Or
Yeah, because he's just throwing around money. But it was poor ass ice cream man because when the guy is gone, he pays him, he has ice cream. That ice cream guy was in the back of the truck the whole time. He didn't see shit.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And the cop, to me, too, he one point, this is a different cop, he turns to him, it's just a regular police guy, and he's like, "Have you seen my son?" And, oh, I almost forgot to point something out. He's like, "Oh, have you seen my son?" He's looking around, he's like, "What's he look like?" Like, maybe he went back to your house. So what happens is, first of all, the cop does nothing. This guy just walked up to him and said, "My kid's missing," and doesn't even follow up. He's just like, "Well, I'll go check your house." So Nic Cage just looked throughout this carnival. He's running back to his house. It's only a block. He runs in the house, doesn't give his wife any warning. He's like, "Charlie! Charlie!" And then he's like, he walks up to her saying nothing, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's
Where's
like,
Charlie?
"Yeah, where's Charlie?" He's like, I can't find him." And she's like, "You left him there?" And what happens is he pauses, he goes,
Yeah, he doesn't say him.
and then she leaves the house. So he didn't even be like, "No, I didn't leave him there.
Gone.
He's gone, someone took him." But the famous literally like, "You left him there?" And then they both go back looking, and that's maybe why she hates him, because she literally thinks he left him there. But like the thing was too, he didn't even run in being like, "Have you seen Charlie?" He walks in the house, he's like, "Charlie!"
And it's no, that's not even a question that makes sense though, because if I were to run into the house yelling like, Dylan, are you here?" You wouldn't be like, "Did you leave him outside?" Like, no, I'm
Did you
clearly
leave
fucking
him?
looking for him in the house. Like, she asks, "Did you leave him?" It's like, he's in the house yelling his name, bitch.
Oh yeah, no, it was that, like there's scenes like that'll stick me.
That just don't make sense.
No, that scene, the cowboy scene, and the scene where he gets turned down the bed, those three scenes were phenomenal, man. That's literally all the notes I have of the funny things. I think we've covered all of it. Does anyone else have anything they want to point out before we throw a score on there?
I will say those scenes are much more fun now, the way we're telling them, than when you were actually watching
Oh,
them.
YouTube
definitely.
them or just watch those scenes? If you YouTube them, you'll
If you-
be
if
Give
kidding.
you-
it a full watch. Give this movie
I
a
don't know
full
about
watch.
I don't know if that's...
And then
Emily, I don't know if that's a thing you
Carve
should say.
Celtic symbols into your wrist.
Maybe in the back.
Okay, whoa.
Maybe
We don't support that.
Maybe if
actually.
you're baking or you need some for background noise, but those three scenes we listed, pay attention to those scenes. The rest of it's cookie cutters, but those I just wanted the year movie about them. I did joke at one point because we find out that he kind of lost whatever job he was going to get because of his sanity. Like, he's been acting crazy, so he's just teaching at like a shittier version of his class now. And
There's
I
like
was
7 students.
I
that
was
showed
really
up.
hoping the plot was going to turn out to be him just having an inspirational teaching lesson with his kids and trying to raise himself up and not have anything to do with ghosts and everything like that. At one point, they were just setting up, like, you can take time off, or, you know, like, you got to get your back ahead in the game. Yeah, that's about it I have. What do you guys... I'll actually rate it last.
You're going to rate it last? Emily, do you want to go first?
Sure. Well, I said at the beginning I was really nervous about this, but to be honest, like, I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised because I was very nervous about watching a Nicolas Cage film.
I think the
I mean,
runtime
Nicolas
helped.
Cage horror film, but we actually had some enjoyment out of it because it was Nicolas Cage. Like, it was, we got what we wanted.
He delivers.
Exactly.
He
We
delivers.
got the Nicolas Cage we wanted. Probably not all the, like, the facial expressions, like you said.
It's
and
not Ghost
that's-
Rider, Nic Cage.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's decent. That being
What,
said,
Nic Cage or the movie's decent?
Nic Cage.
it's just a ride. It's a
Mm.
ride. That being said, I can still probably only give this movie. I don't even know. A 1? I'll give it a 1.
So you hated this movie?
But can I give it a 2? Like a 2 seems
That 2 is
generous.
didn't like it.
Honestly, it's somewhere between a 1 and a 2, so I guess I'll give it a 2 because a 2 I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But like it's somewhere just hovering between a 1 and a 2.
Once again, for new viewers, if this is your first time, we can only give it the Netflix rating, so you can't give half stars. You gotta give a 1 hated it, 2 didn't like it, 3 okay, 4 what was it, really really good, and then 5 is loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you spoilers. Go listen to the back, but there's yet to be a 5.
Yet to be a 4.
3?
I think
we haven't technically passed anything yet.
No. I think you almost broke it last time with
Almost.
the Witch Hunter.
I just want something to pass.
Well,
It's
Taylor definitely passed.
Taylor.
Ghost Rider,
Taylor.
but that's a lot
He
of
doesn't
bias.
count.
So.
Dylan, what are
Sorry,
you
Taylor.
throwing on there?
I like I said at the very start of this cast, I thought it was complete trash. Nic Cage, you gotta love Nic Cage just because of how crazy he is, but we didn't even get that. Like, they should have given him like 30 or 40 more lines than he had. Just because if you give him that and just give him these emotional scenes, like whether it be like sadness or just like excitement or anything, like I just love.
He did. Remember when he cried? When he's like,
I know,
"My boy!"
but like yeah, we only got a couple of that, right? Like,
I know.
You want the
all
whole
the
movie
beginning-
to be just jam packed with that stuff.
He lost something
It's
when he
just-
took up the cowboy outfit. I'm telling you, he was in the
just,
zone.
He felt like monotone, and that's not a word I would ever want to use for Nic Cage, right?
No.
So that was boring. In terms of like all the CGI and like the makeup for the ghosts and stuff,
Yeah, that's bad.
it was bad. It wasn't scary. Like none of those creepy faces stuck with me, and usually they do. No one else in the movie was relevant. It was really dull in terms of like how slow it was. Like we talk about how these scenes, there's a lot of suspense that they're trying to build up, but then it goes into nothing. And that was a lot of the movie. This scene was 2 minutes longer than it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have shaved 10-15 minutes off of just like making a lot of scenes just shorter. And then dull in the sense of like it was just so like colorless. Like it was just grayscale.
Yeah.
So much of it was grayscale. Even Nic Cage's face was just white for half the movie, completely white.
Yeah.
This movie was total trash. I hated it. I'm giving it a 1. So boring.
I think the way I can equate this is it's kind of similar, like a reverse of The Hole. How you like really found that entertaining. I was like, not for me. Like
Yeah.
and like that's how this is for me. I said this while we were watching it. If Nic Cage was not in this would be a solid 1. I think this is this is a garbage fire of a movie. It's a piece of trash. It's awful. There's nothing redeemable about it. But it's given me 3 of my favorite scenes that I've seen this year. Specifically the bedroom scene. Please watch the bedroom scene. So that's why I can't say I hated it. And I didn't...
I'll go through and I'll find the timestamps for these 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't think this movie's worth watching, but there is, yeah.
And that's
maybe
why...
those 3 scenes.
I was going to say, even with Nic Cage, if those 3 scenes were removed, I think I would have given it 1. Because there were some scenes that gave comedic value. I agree it was too long, but I didn't feel when you were like, oh, I'm so bored, it's going on forever. I actually didn't feel it because I was still getting some laughs out of it.
Okay.
So, but I still think it could have been an hour. There's so much stuff, like for me, it didn't feel too long, but from like a person that likes film, likes critique film, it was like yeah. I even think, like I said, I honestly think half an hour could have been taken out. That could have been an hour movie. It could have been could have been a great short film. I don't know, but like not great, but like something entertaining. But yeah, I think I gotta give it 2 because I can't say I hate it. It's not like Witch Hunter or like The Doer. When I finished it, I was like, fuck. Like the same way when you said when it was over, you're like, I felt like I wasted my time. This I actually didn't. Obviously, I'd much rather spend my time otherwise. I'm never gonna watch this movie again. I might YouTube those scenes again, but like I'll never watch this movie again.
Well.
But I gotta... Oh, I will. I do that all the time. But, like, I'm giving it 2 for... Didn't like it. There wasn't enough to...
Yeah.
There's clearly not enough to give it a 3. But, like, I had a good time with it. For me, this was... taking Ghost Rider out, because I'd already seen it, this was the first time I've seen a movie for the first time that was so bad it's good. And I did have that going through. And I think Nic Cage helped, because if it was somebody trying to be serious, it wouldn't work. Because this movie was not... The movie was kind of poorly written. It was lazily written. So, yeah... I think a solid 2. If it wasn't for Nic Cage in a few scenes, it'd be a 1. It's a terrible movie.
Yep.
I'd say you could definitely, if you watch it with some friends. Like there's some movies where like the do-over, I'd say don't watch it. Like Last Witch Hunter for me, I'd be like, man, not worth the watch. This one I actually think with some friends you could have a fun time and kind of like even that with The Hole. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of it, but with friends you could watch that one. And this is another one I feel like, oh, you could watch it, have a couple laughs, point out some stuff.
I mean, it is October. It is the Halloween season, and this does take place in Halloween. So.
Well, is that everything?
I think that's it.
Well,
yet another fail.
Yet another fail. We continue on
2 2s and a 1.
the
Not
negative-
looking good for
No.
Pay the Ghost.
No,
Leave the ghost.
Not even a good title either.
No, not really. No, it was an intriguing title.
I'm
But...
so upset. Not even a good title.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again. We all thank you again for tuning in to another great edition of this episode of Netflix and Fail. You can go to GeekVersePodcast.com and check out all our social media, all the links to our everywhere. And links to video, links to audio, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, Twitch, the whole shebang as usual. If you like what we do here, if you like what we do on GeekVerse, if you want to support us, go throw us a couple bucks on Patreon. If not, please give us a rating and a review and a subscription on either YouTube's or YouTube's. We made a new one on YouTube's. It's really underground. It's coming out soon. Or on iTunes, something like that. If you like what we do here, help us out a little bit. Give us some love. And then, until next time, we don't actually have a sign off for Netflix and Fail. I think we're going to have to think of one. But
if you have any good ideas, let us know in the description.
Please find us something that will pass.
Find us. We pick the movies. We can't blame them.
Yeah, but we are always very open to suggestions.
We do have 2 cooking right now that I'm pretty sure I'm pretty excited about. So tune in next time. It's going to be a fun time as always.
Later.
Bye.